Hi guys, so today we have um, news from Bastion. Um, Today we have a lot to go through in regards to news from Anthem. You know, we all know that Anthem is being remade. It's not an update, it's not um, a, a, a remake in which they will remake what is already done, but it is a remake of the game in its entirety: gameplay, sound, music, everything. Okay, everything is going to be affected. We now know that they had a lot to go through during the make of the game. They had a lot of restructuring on BioWare that affected negatively the original game. Anthem was severely cut. A lot of what we saw on the original trailer from um, Comic-Con a long time ago was not the end product at all. What we saw in that video was a vibrant world, a lot of creatures, a lot of action, and our character having fluid movements and whatnot. The fluid movements are there, mind you, but the world is almost empty. They didn't put anything that we saw on the trailer on the game, but they did attempt it. So the game has little like whispers of that trailer. Um, and today we have big news. As you can see here on my screen, this is how I can present it, by the way. This is concept art of the next stage of Anthem, the so-called Anthem Next or Anthem 2.0. Mind you that this will replace the current Anthem that we have or not. We don't know. We don't know if the current game is going to continue to be available, the storyline and the gameplay, and this will be like a stage that we enter at the end of that storyline. We don't know. So this shows us an outcast village. We're going to finally have access as well to other factions like Scar, Outcasts, Dominion, and even Urgoth. Okay, the Urgoth were the original villains from the Anthem storyline that never appeared on the game. We only fought Dominion up until the end. So let's continue on through. This is a beautiful rendering of what we will expect to see on the game. So we're going to be finally able to fly through the canopy of the clouds and actually see the map in its entirety. I do hope that this will be a standalone game. Okay, Anthem had a bad start. They should not work from that baseline. Okay, let that baseline be what it is. Let's go and start something completely new. Mind you that this will affect, of course, very negatively the community. Why? We don't know, and this is one of the biggest questions out there. We don't know if what we're going to see and experience, it's going to be paid or not. Okay, we don't know. So that's one of the biggest questions we still have, and that I would like the devs to actually answer. I'm willing to pay up to, I don't know, between 30 euros and 40 euros for an update, but if it's a completely different game called Anthem Next or something like that, I'm willing to pay the full price. But only if we get to see this rendered on the new consoles and new computers that are coming. As you can see here, we're going to have more hubs to go through. This seems to be a village of some sort. I don't know if it is Scar, Outcast, Urgoth. I don't know, but it is quite beautiful and the view is monumental. This is a close-up of the village. As you can see, we have turrets here. So quite possibly we already have this map in game. They're just restructuring it. It was one of the maps from one of the events, because I recognize the platforms with the turrets. We had the balloons up there, another one up here. This is just a restructuring, but I'm more than willing to accept that. And this is a view from the outside of the village. This actually seems like some sort of a Scar village, some sort of Scar village or Outcast, but this seems more like Scar village. As you can see here, this is the far view of that same enclosure. And this is tremendously cool. If they're able to do this with the new consoles, I'll play full price right now, like this. Now, this is one of the biggest questions. Will we see the creators back to Bastion? The creators of the giant machines? Or is this just another picture of the Anthem? To me, this is just another picture of the Anthem in action, per se, restructuring the world and making use of the machines. This looks like this actually looks like an outcast village, because this looks like wyverns, but these are statues. These are actually statues, okay? These are not wyverns. These are here made out of metal. As you can see here, we see people here. I don't believe wyverns will not eat people or not eat outcasts. But no, as you can see, it has trucks here and here. So these are statues. This is quite possibly an outpost of freelancers, or an outpost from the outcasts, or a completely different faction. We don't know. And that's the beauty of it, discovery. And this, of course, this is the doorway to a Bastion opening, or portal opening for you to go back to the outside world, or not. Well, we don't know. Now, this is one of the biggest updates we had in the last few weeks. I tried to compile a lot of data, because week by week they release tiny bits of information, but not much, like one, two, three pictures at the most, okay? This is the compilation of many weeks. So we will have a new social hub. It's not going to be Fort Tarsus. They already said that. But it's not going to be Fort Tarsus. And this raises a question. What will happen to Fort Tarsus? Will it be destroyed? Fall in a hole again? Yeah, we don't know. So, as you can see, this is quite possibly the social hub here that we have also in the game already, but separated by instances. This is an open doorway, so quite possibly we're going to see a lot more people in game. Actually see other players in the streets. That's going to be cool, actually. It's going to feel more like an MMO. This is another view of the new social hub. We don't know the name of it. At least I looked on the forums and read at it, and there's no name. We're going to have to wait for that one. And this is the external view. Now, this seems like a floating city like we see in Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, Cloud City. But this is actually the peak of a mountain. So, as you can see here, and waterfalls here. So this is the peak of a mountain. We can see that there's smoke, so there's action. There's quite possibly forgers at the ready, forging freelancer weaponry, sentinel weaponry. We don't even know if we're going to be able to be a sentinel instead of a freelancer, or a Scar, or a Dominion operative. We don't know. And that's the beauty of it. And please, guys, do not antagonize the devs. This is a big request. I do understand that we all want news as fast as possible. We want to play the game as fast as possible, but that was the biggest mistake of the first iteration of Anthem. They were forced to launch before it was ready. So let's give them space. We have an entire generation of consoles coming out with resources like we've never seen. Let's wait, okay? Let's wait and see what they can do. BioWare never disappointed me up until Anthem, but I was not disappointed at the same time, and I will explain that. I actually liked very much the game. I was expecting a little bit more, and I was expecting a little bit more from Mass Effect Andromeda as well, but and then I didn't like their basically I didn't like their customer support at all. Actually, I didn't like how they actually reacted to people's reactions. So I'm not sure what to expect in that regard, but I didn't like their reaction. But then they changed. They're much more forthcoming than they were before, basically because they learned a very harsh lesson. They cannot antagonize the community and not expect to be hit back. Okay? So this is the new social hub, quite beautiful as you can see. This is the social hub in a sort of sunset or dawn setting. As you can see, we have loads and loads of sprouts coming out of the social hub, which means quite possibly this will be launch areas of freelancers or ships. Yeah, you're seeing it correctly. Flying ships. We're going to have flying ships. Big ships. I'm very impressed with this. I'm very impressed. Positively well done, guys. By the way, not showing any fear of actually trying to delve into something that wasn't done before. Quite possibly we're still going to see Striders. Again, possibly. And these additions are tremendous. That means there is the chance that we actually will have aerial battles between freelancers or javelins and battle barges like that one. This is the rendering of one of the newest weapons that we're going to have available in-game. This is a sword. Yeah, we're going to have the ability to wield swords as a full-fledged weapon, not just a melee attack. At least that's what they said on the Reddit. This looks like a badass sword, straight out of Nightmares, and this quite possibly is either a Dominion design or quite possibly a Dominion design or Freelancer design. What I'm actually very impressed is that there is this circular thing here that looks like a dynamo and capacitors here. And there's a trigger here, which means there quite possibly this sword will be electrified. And that's right, we're quite possibly going to have access to man turrets. This is awesome, okay? As you can see here, they're trying to make the rotations, the range, the side, back and front. This is a fully rendered model, and this is the concept model here. And this is the size of our javelin. Quite possibly it's going to stand on this platform here, activate it, and then we'll be able to operate the gun. Now this is awesome. This actually gives the chance for a multiplayer battle between javelins that fly against a battleship, like one of those battle barges, and actually have javelins defending pilots, players defending the battle barge. This is very cool. Very cool. So, this is one of the new factions that we're going to have access to. Potentially not access to. We're going to see them in game, or maybe we're going to have access to. We don't know. Pirates of the Blood Wind. I don't know about that name. I don't know about that name, but okay, I'll run it. They look badass with skeleton-looking. These are going to be like really pirates, marauders. In game, I get the feeling that there will be full-fledged pirates, and that's very cool. Sky Pirate Gunner. Will this be a new faction, Sky Pirates? Or will they be from Pirates of the Blood Wind? We don't know. Sky Pirates, it looks like a little far-fetched, a little simplistic, the name. But between one and the other, I prefer Pirates of the Blood Wind. It's actually more dramatic. Now this looks like badass, and this looks like drop troopers instead of full-fledged javelin. It is an armor operated by a user, but as you can see here, I don't know if it's going to be a full-fledged javelin type, because these wings will not help piloting it, or it will, I don't know. But I like this detail, the knives, the swords, whatever. This looks like badass. Very cool. Now, I don't know what I feel about these renderings, these concept arts. Okay, I understand the pirate types. I understand their need to look like pirates. But looking like a shark? This is new. This is actually very cool. But I don't know if I like the cleaner model or the more in-your-face model. I think if they are pirates, just go with the unclean model, this one. Just go with this one. It looks like badass. Although I like the sharper model here. Perhaps they will make this available for us players, wink wink, and this will actually be the NPCs that we get to kill. This actually looks like a rendered model. It does look like a rendered model, or a very interesting brushed drawing. But I don't know. And this is the cleaner model. This is the model I wouldn't mind to wear, actually. Looks cool. I don't know. This is a fully rendered model. Okay, it's not a concept drawing. I don't know what I feel. Are we going to have the Joker on Anthem? This is like the Joker. The colors are the Joker. What were they thinking with this one? I'm not against it, but the colors. This was like a wink to DC Comics. The full on. This is the Joker in armor that gets to fly in Bastion. No. This is other renderings. This is actually, I don't know if it is drawings, but I do get the feeling that these are drawings, not rendered models. Um, this actually looks cooler than the one we saw before. Looks like a sort of monstery type. Don't know what faction will this be. And finally, to show you, we're going to have these classes of weapons. Quite possibly these will be the 4 factions available in-game, playable in-game. So, Freelancer, of course. As you can see, a very techy type of weapons. Very cool. Dominion. These renderings seem like energy weapons, bolt weapons that use actually same as the weapons we have in our world uses bullets. This one uses clearly energy weapons, lasers and laser bolts and plasma. This is a mixture of both, and quite possibly fire weapons. This looks like a really badass fire flamethrower. And this is a mixture of smallish flamethrower and stapler bolt thrower. This minigun looks like badass. The color I don't like, but I think the color will be customizable. And finally, Urgoth weapons. Urgoth look like, wow. These look like biosynthetic tech weapons. So a mixture between biological and mechanical. Really cool design. Really cool. So I can't wait to play this game. So guys, these are the news that I had for you this week. Quite possibly it will be a couple of weeks until I do the next news from Bastion, until I compile more data that we get to know. Okay? Feel free to subscribe to my channel to support it, and give a like on this video. See you on the next one, guys.